Hello everybody, it's Valerie Greenwell and welcome to Quilt Artistry. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about fonts and text and different kinds of typography. A lot of times we like to stitch names, words, letters, things like that into our quilts, but we don't always have the fonts that we need inside of our Statler software. So today I'm going to show you where I go to get some of my fonts, how to load those fonts, and then how to access those fonts once you are in your Statler software. And I will also spend a little bit of time showing you how I set my fonts up after I put them, after I get my words typed out. I'm going to show you how I edit those fonts so that they stitch out as one pattern without a bunch of tie-offs. Sometimes that's possible, sometimes it's not. So I'll kind of show you a little bit about that. And then I'll show you some of what I call bonus fonts that add a few extra patterns to your collections that you didn't know you had. So give me a minute to get things turned around and get everything set up on the screen, and then I'll be back and I'll show you what we've got. Okay, so I have SAN opened up on my laptop and I am running the latest version of CS software. And I have a couple patterns on screen here that I have drawn using different kinds of text. This one here is a quilt tag that I drew that I could stitch out on my quilts while I'm quilting. This one I have used the provided Statler font. It is a simple single line font. It stitches out quick and relatively easy, and there's not a lot of anything that you have to do to this in order to make this happen. This one I have used a collegiate font and a horseshoe to make a mock Colts logo that was requested by a customer. And then this one is just a fun little live, laugh, love kind of text font. Sometimes we do these for signs. I did this one in particular on a t-shirt quilt, and it turned out really cute. So, you know, a lot of times we want to stitch these things, but we don't necessarily have all of these fonts within our Statler software. This is a page where I have used a variety of texts that I have put on my computer. This one, of course, is the Statler text. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this one. Okay, when you type using the Statler text, this is the one that is built into our software. There's nothing else that you have to do. These letters are automatically connected, and I don't know if you can see these little dots that are kind of here. Those are like connecting this text to this text. So it's going to go automatically from one all the way to the other. Those were like spaces when I put them in there. But the neat thing about it is that these letters are not connected after you type. They're all individual. So if you wanted to pull a letter out and move it or put it someplace else, or say you wanted the T to stand out, you can go ahead and make that T just a little bit more pronounced if you like. And there really isn't anything that you need to do other than pick up that letter and make that adjustment. So all of the other fonts, when you type, they are all completely connected and just one big pattern, just like this. So that's one of the big differences between Statler font and regular fonts. But before I get too far into what to do with the fonts, let's talk about where to get the fonts. So every single one of these fonts that I have here, I downloaded off the internet. They were not on my computer. So the only one that came with it is this, is of course the Statler font. So let's talk about where to go to get a font, because you really shouldn't go just anywhere. Let me shrink this window for a minute. Okay, so this is dafont.com, and you can go to dafont.com and you can look for and download just about any kind of font. You can download a specific theme. If you like, you can download a script font. You can download a block font, a collegiate font. It's absolutely endless. Let's say you want to do something retro. Let's go for something specific. Let's say you want a retro font. You type in retro and let's see what comes up. There are all kinds of retro fonts on here. Let's say that you're looking for something very specific. Here you go, Retro Cool. This is a great one. This one is like a throwback to the 1970s. One of the things I can tell by looking at this one is that your uppercase and lowercase letters are all in uppercase, but they look different. So you can see on this one, it's got the big fat R that comes out, but the other R, instead of being a lowercase, is just a little bit smaller. So this one would be a cool font. Let's download this one and work with it. So when you find a font that you like, you go to and you click on download, and you are going to save that into a folder so you know where it's going. And this one is called Retro Cool. You can see I already have it downloaded here, but I'm going to download it again just so you can see what I'm doing here. So you give it a name, you put it in a folder where you can find this, okay? And the reason why this is important is because once you have downloaded this font and used it on your laptop or your desktop computer, you're going to want to take this font and put it on your Statler computer. So you're going to want to know where to find these fonts. I have a folder in my downloads folder titled fonts, and this is where I drop all of the fonts that I want to put on my computer. So anyway, you put it in the folder and you click save. Okay, now we're going to go to this folder. We're going to open it up. Once you have your font downloaded, you'll see here it's in a zip folder. So you're going to right click on that and you are going to do extract all, and it's going to extract that font into a folder that is unzipped. And then you can unclick this and you can click on any of these fonts to download them. So this one is a true type font and an open type font. I usually go ahead and install both. They won't both show up in Statler, only one of them will. So I go ahead and I download both of them. So what you do is you double click on this and it's going to open this font sample up, and you'll see up here you can print out this sample sheet if you like and put it in a notebook, and you can install it. So you click install, and I already have this one installed, but I'm just going to say put it in there anyway, and this is what's going to happen. So it's going to install that. Now this font is inside of my computer. It's not only going to show up in Statler, but it's going to show up in any other program that I use on this computer. Now, have you ever wondered what fonts you have on your computer? If we go down here to search and we type in fonts, there is a folder on your computer located inside your control panel that says fonts. This is your system fonts. These are all of the fonts that are on your computer currently. So I'm going to click on this because I want to open it up and see what I've got. Now, I would strongly urge you, once you are inside of this window, do not delete anything out of here. I'm just showing you where your fonts are so you can look and see what's on your computer, but do not delete anything out of this folder. So here you can look and see all of the fonts that are on your computer already. And I have a lot in here. I am a font fanatic. I download a lot of fonts for many different things. I have fonts for Adobe. I have fonts for different programs, Microsoft. And that's another thing I should say. If you have Microsoft Office, there are hundreds of thousands of fonts that you can go and download for free that are part of your Microsoft package. Likewise with Adobe, if you have an Adobe membership, then you also have access to all of Adobe's fonts. Google also has a lot of fonts that you can go and download for free. DaFont is not the only place to go. That's where I get the majority of my fonts because I know DaFont is a safe site. I have never had a problem with the font that I downloaded from DaFont. These are all of the fonts that I have on my computer, and you can look here and it kind of gives you a little bit of a preview of what this font might look like. Many of them are regular text fonts, with different letters and things like that, but there are also some in here that have symbols. I can see that I have also some fonts in here that are not actually fonts. Look at this. We have weddings, and these are different shapes, and they add different things. They're shapes, and believe it or not, some of these will actually stitch out. So, and I should say, once you have downloaded a font and installed that font, you need to close CS, say yes, and I'm going to say yes. You have to close Statler all the way and then reopen it, or this font will not appear. So once you have it installed, then you can open CS again, and everything will be right there. Once we have SAM opened up again, we're going to go to a new quilt group here, and we are going to go look for that font that we just installed. So in order to find these fonts, we're going to go to Draw Text. If the Statler font is the only font that you are seeing in this window here, it's because you have cursive checked. So we want to be able to see the fonts that we just downloaded. So we're going to select this button here that says Block. Now you will be able to see all of the fonts that are available to Statler right here in this window. They are all in alphabetical order, so you'll find it very helpful to keep track of the names of the fonts that you want to use. So this is our font. It's called Retro Cool. First, I'm going to type my name, okay? Valee G right here. So you'll see we typed that and it automatically populates over here. Now let me zoom out for a minute. Now this is the regular font. Now you're probably not going to see a huge difference when you are talking about a stitchable font, because you just get a little bit of an outline. But so let's take a look here. This is regular. Now let me type again. We're going to go right underneath that and we're going to change that to fold. Now you can see as a fold, it kind of chunks things up just a little bit and makes things a little bit fatter. So there's a little bit more substance to the letters. Okay, now let me go to another one of my favorite fonts here, and it's called Royal Signage. Okay. All right, I love this one. Not only is it easy to read, but it's really pretty. You get a lot of these serifs on here with these curly cues on the ends, and the letters look fancy, but they're easy to read fancy. It's easy on the eyes. Let's say you have your font on screen, but how do you get all of this connected so that you can stitch it out, okay? Depending on the look of the lettering that you want. For instance, this one that says Colts, I wanted all of this to stitch out as one pattern. I didn't want to have to come back and do tie-offs in between each individual piece. So I opted to scoot these letters closer together so that I could make connections between the letters. See right here, I've got it connected from the G to the L. And something else that you really have to think about is we'll have to make connections This inside the O, of course, is a separate shape. So unless you want a tie off here and then again here, you have to find a way to connect this little circle to the one down below. And what I opted to do here was just let it stitch a straight line down and to be able to make the connection from the inner circle to the outer O. And then if I zoom in here on the G, you'll see that I have a connection from the O to the G right here. Now, when this stitches out, you really don't see those. It doesn't take away from the font or what it is that you're reading. Now, this one, what I did was I connected the letters of each word, and then I went back and I connected one word to another word. And so this creates a neat little text effect on a cute signage kind of block. So let's talk about how to make these connections when you are using a downloaded font. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to enter into F7 mode, which is going to give you your nodes. Okay, then every place where you see one of these lines, these connectors going from one letter to the next, we are going to need to remove all of those. So I hit the D, and that is going to disconnect everything. And it's going to make all of these letters individual. And don't forget here on this A, you have connectors that go from the outside to the inside. So looking at the capital V, there is nothing that I need to do with the V. It will be fine the way it is. I want the V and the G, I want to stand out, and I want them to be larger than the regular letters. I'm going to select these two letters. And I am going to make them larger than the rest of the text so that I can put them, I want them to have prominence. Okay, so this A, let's talk about what to do with the A first, because this one has one of those floating circles on the inside. So what I like to do is I will find a line, a straight line, that with the outside that is in line with the line on the inside here. And so I can see this connection is going to be best made from here to here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter F7 mode again. I'm going to grab that pink node and hit the delete button. And then here on this one, I'm going to hit the delete button here. Oh, that's where it's already connected. So what I will do is grab this. Okay, I'm going to do a snap to, and that's going to snap to right there. Now I'm going to connect this over here, just like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is hit order join, and that is going to connect all the pieces of this letter A. So now I'm going to combine those patterns. So now this A will pick up and move all as one. I can do whatever I want with it. The L, let's see here. I disconnected that bottom. So let me go ahead and do an order join on that one. We're going to do combine pattern. I did the same thing with that one. So I'll go through and I will connect all of my letters here. All the pieces of my letters, and then I will figure out how I want to space these so that I can make one pattern. So I think what I want to do is I am going to expand this V just a little bit until part of it touches down here, and this is, I'm going to say, is very close. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into F7 again. And I'm going to start opening up pieces of this pattern where I need to make my connections, okay? I can bring this over, and now I will make these connections here, and I will line that up. So now when I get ready to do order join again, this V is going to connect to that A. So now I have the first leg of my V highlighted with the F7 nodes. I am going to hit order join, and now you'll see my V is connected to my A. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing as I go from letter to letter. Now I'm going to move this letter over just a little bit. If you hold down the Alt key and your arrow key, you can kind of nudge it over just a little bit. And so what I'll do is, again, I'll go to F7 and I will break this pattern right here. And I will make the connections from one pattern to the other. So what I like to do is try to make these connections look as natural as possible. So this one I will connect there, and this one. Okay, so now you hit order join again, and now I have these three connected. And I will do that all the way across until I get to the very last letter. So again, Alt and arrow is a nice little nudge. Now I try to keep my spacing even from one to the other just for continuity purposes. At the end of each connection, I do order join. That way, if there's a problem, I know where to find it. Okay, so once you have all of your letters connected, let's say that you want to add a little bit of a pattern to this. Let's take a look at some of the special extras that come with your fonts that are built into your computer. You probably don't even know are there. We're going to go back to draw text. Now, I am going to type in my middle name. Now, I am going to go to WN Shapes. Okay, now you can see for my middle name that I typed here, that sure isn't letters, is it? No. So what we're going to have here are all different kinds of shapes. And these shapes are going to be different depending on whether you are in uppercase or lowercase. So you're going to get a whole different fit of fonts. Let's see here. Let's go back. Let's type our alphabet, okay? Okay, so these are all of our letters. Okay, so now I can look at this, and all of these little shapes are stitchable little tiny patterns. Some of them you can edit. Well, they're all editable. It doesn't matter. Let's pick this one because this one looks to be relatively clean. Okay, so let's do an F7. Let's find the connection to this pattern here, and I think it's right here. Let's do a delete. Let's do a delete again. Now you can see I've got this little asterisk. Here, I like this little heart. Let's do F7 here. Let's delete this so that we can separate this pattern from everything else. Now, I'm going to pick this up, and I'm going to take this over here to my name pattern, along with my little flower shape that I picked up. I'm going to put my little flower shape here. And I'm going to put my heart shape here. Maybe I'll do away with the circle. I don't need the circle. I just want the heart. So I want to put it in a spot that's going to connect with my lettering at some point. I kind of like it right there in the corner, or maybe, let me see where my connectors are here. So when I know where those are, okay, now I can come back over here. Let's do this. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing that I did earlier with my lettering, and I am going to pick up these legs and I'm going to connect everything. Now see, this has a little bit of an over, like where the pattern wasn't clean. I'm going to clean that up a little bit. Now I'm going to do order join again. All right, we have everything connected. I'm going to do combine pattern and reconnect these here. Okay. Now, to get our little flower connected, where's the best spot to connect this one? Here we go, right here. Let me go ahead and open this up. Let's find an opening right here. Now I'm going to connect that over there. I'm going to connect this one over there. All right. Now for the last time, I'm going to do order join. All right, so now I've got this pattern that I want to stitch out. So now you can save this pattern. You give it a name. I'm going to type in Valee G name. All right, and I will put VLG edit. I'm going to add this as a block and text. Save. All right, now that pattern will show up over here in your patterns. You can take it to your Statler, or you can just upload it via the cloud and it will make its way to your Statler. If you want to see what it's going to look like as it stitches out, you can hit F2, and F2 will go through a preview of your stitch path. This will allow you to see that all of your connections are made and that it is going to stitch continuously. I have it sped up a little bit. I hope you guys can see that. All right, that's it. Now, there are so many different places where you can get different kinds of fonts. I don't purchase fonts because there are so many different ones available online. And my other thing that I would say is just simply before you go downloading a font, make sure that you are at a reputable website, so that you're not just downloading random things off the internet, because you don't want to get any viruses. So anyway, that is my tutorial for how to use and connect different kinds of fonts. I hope you found this video useful, and if you have any questions, please feel free to message me in the comments.